Our objectives in this lesson are the following. We are going to determine the greatest common factor or GCF, and I'm going to teach you three different methods of doing it: by factor tree, by continuous division, and by roster or listing method. And then we're going to factor out common monomial factor. Let's have a quick review first of your lesson back in grade 7. Expand the following. Number 1, 2x squared times x cubed will give us 2x to the fifth power. 2x squared times negative 4 will give us negative 8x squared. Number 2, 3p cubed times 5p squared q will give us 15p to the fifth q. 3p cubed times 7pq squared will give us 21p to the fourth q squared. And 3p cubed times negative 6q cubed will give us negative 18p cubed q cubed. In this lesson, we are going to reverse the process. Given the polynomial, we are going to determine the factors. So here are the rules in factoring polynomials. First thing, we have to determine if there is GCF, greatest common factor. What does it look like? In our previous example, this one here is the GCF, while this one is the remaining factor. So if we have a GCF, we have to factor it out like this one here, and then we're going to write the remaining factor in one set of parentheses. So your first question always will be, is there a GCF? If the answer is yes, like what I mentioned earlier, you have to factor it out and write the remaining factor in one set of parentheses. And then after that, you're going to examine the remaining factor and ask yourself if it is a binomial, trinomial, or does it contain four terms. But we are not going to discuss this yet. In this lesson, we are going to focus our attention in determining the greatest common factor. We are going to do factoring. Let us define few terms first. Factor is a number that divides into a whole number with a remainder of 0. And factoring is the process of doing that. It is the reverse of multiplying. It means breaking down an expression into a product of two or more expressions. When we say completely factored, it means breaking down a product or whole into a product of prime numbers. Do you still remember the definition of prime number? Prime number means a number that has exactly two factors, 1 and itself. And if we have prime number, we also have composite number. This is a number that has two or more factors. And since we are focused on GCF, the greatest common factor of two or more numbers is the largest number or factor that divides all of the numbers exactly without leaving a remainder. Let's have a quick activity. Determine if it is a prime or composite. Let's start with 7. The factors of 7 are 1 and 7. No other factors except 1 and itself, therefore 7 is prime. Let's have 9. 9 is a product of 1 and 9. And 9 here can also be expressed as a product of 3 and 3. Since there are other factors except 1 and itself, then 9 is composite. Let's have 13. 13 is a product of 1 and 13. No other numbers. Therefore, 13 is prime. Let's have 36. 36 is a product of 1 and 36. 36 can be expressed as a product of 4 and 9. 4 is 2 times 2, while 9 is 3 times 3. Since there are other factors except 1 and 36, then 36 is composite. Let's have the last one, 15. It is a product of 1 and 15. 15 here can be expressed as a product of 3 and 5. There are other factors except 1 and itself, therefore 15 is composite. Let's have another activity, this time factor completely. Let's start with 84. 84 can be expressed as 4 times 21. 4 is 2 times 2, while 21 is 3 times 7. Since 2, 3, and 7 are all prime numbers, therefore, this is the completely factored form of 84. Let's have negative 210. Negative 210 can be expressed as a product of negative 1 and 210. Let's copy negative 1 here. 210 can be expressed as 21 times 10. Let's copy again negative 1, while 21 is 3 times 7, and 10 is 5 times 2. Now, let us rearrange this in ascending order. So, we have negative 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7. All of these numbers are prime numbers, so this is the completely factored form of negative 210. There's another way of doing this. Again, negative 210 is negative 1 times 210, and 210 is 30 times 7, while 30 is 3 times 10. Let's copy 7 here. 10 is 2 times 5. Let us arrange this again in ascending order. This is the same as this one. So even if you have different factors in mind at first, at the end, you will arrive with the same prime factors. So this is the complete factored form of negative 210. Last one, let's have combination of a constant and variables. 45 is a product of 9 and 5. A squared can be breakdown into A times A, while b cubed can be breakdown as b times b times b. 9 is a product of 3 times 3. Let's copy the rest. These are all prime. So this is the complete factored form of 45, a squared, b cubed. We are done reviewing the prime and composite as well as factoring completely. So let me teach you the first method of determining the GCF. Method 1 is through factor 3. Find the GCF of 12 and 40. First, I'm going to rewrite 12, and then I'm going to determine its factors, and that would be 2 and 6. 6 is a product of 2 and 3. 2, 2, and 3 are all prime. So I'm just going to rewrite this and arrange them in ascending order. The factors of 12 are 2 times 2 times 3. I'm going to do the same thing with 40. It is a product of 2 and 20, while 20 is a product of 2 and 10. 10 here is a product of 2 and 5. 2, 2, 2, 5 are all prime numbers. I'm going to rewrite them and arrange in ascending order. So the factors of 40 are 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. To determine the GCF, I'm going to align the factors of the second number to the first one. And I'm going to look for a common factor. So I have here one set of 2, and another common is another set of 2. No other common number, so it means here is my GCF. Two sets of 2. 2 times 2 is equal to 4. Therefore, the GCF of 12 and 40 is equal to 4. This time, method 2, continuous division. Again, same problem. I'm just going to rewrite them, 12 and 40. Then I'm going to create a line like this and think of a number that can divide 12 and 40. That would be 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 40 divided by 2 is 20. 6 and 20 can be divided by 2, so I'll create another line again and I'll put 2 here. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 20 divided by 2 is 10. Since there is no number that can divide both 3 and 10, therefore I'm done. So where is my GCF? Here now is my GCF. Two sets of 2. That is 2 times 2 and it's equal to 4. Therefore, the GCF of 12 and 40 is equal to 4. Same answer as before. Let's have another one. This time, let's have three numbers. Let us rewrite them. Think of a number that can divide these three, and that would be 5. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 30 divided by 5 is 6. Is there a number that can divide 4, 3, and 6? There is none. So my GCF therefore is this number here. The GCF of 20, 15, and 30 is 5. Another method of determining the GCF is the roster or listing method. So let me write 12 here. And then I'm going to determine the factors, numbers that when multiplied will give me 12. I will start with 1 times 12, then 2 times 6, then 3 times 4. Are there any more numbers that when multiplied will give us 12? None. Then I'm going to rearrange these factors in ascending order. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. I'm going to do the same thing with 40. 40 is a product of 1 times 40, 2 times 20, 4 times 10, 5 times 8. No more. 6, 7, 8 times 5. So it's the same with this one. So these are all the factors of 40. Let us rewrite them in ascending order. 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 10, 20, 40. And then I'm going to look for G, greatest. C, common. Greatest number that is common to both factors. And that would be 4. So the GCF, again, of 12 and 40 is equal to 4. I have discussed three different methods of determining the GCF of 12 and 40. Choose the one that best fits you. Try this. Find the GCF of 24D squared and 30C squared D. Let me rewrite 24D squared first. 24 is 1 times 24. It could also be 2 times 12. It could also be 3 times 8. It could also be 4 times 6. For D squared, let us break it down as D and D. Next, we have 30C squared D. 30 is a product of 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 5 and 6. For C squared, this is C and C, and then let's copy D. This time, let us choose the greatest number common to both terms, and that would be 6. For the variable, since I do not have C here, then I cannot choose C. For D, I have two Ds here and one D here, so only one is common. Therefore, the GCF of 24D squared and 30C squared D is 6D. Let's do extra challenge. Find the GCF of 42A squared B plus 18A to the fifth plus 6A cubed, then check your answer. So let me rewrite 42A squared B, and I'll determine the factors. 42 is a product of 1 and 42. Could also be 2 and 21, 3 and 14, as well as 6 and 7. A squared is A, and then I'll copy B. Now, 18A to the fifth. 18 is a product of 1 and 18, 2 and 9, or 3 and 6. For A to the fifth, that would be A times A times A times A times A. Last one, 6A cubed. 6 is a product of 1 and 6, or 2 and 3. For A cubed, that would be A times A times A. Now, let us look for the greatest common number among these three terms, and that would be 6. Now, how about for the variables? We can choose one set of A, another set of A. Two A's have already been chosen. No more A's here, so therefore we cannot choose any more A. For B, since we do not have B here, we cannot also choose B. So here is now the greatest common factor of 42A squared B plus 18A to the fifth plus 6A cubed. That is 6a squared. To check if this is correct, I'm going to write the given and divide this with our GCF. Let's start with the first term, 42 divided by 6. That will give us 7. A squared and a squared here will cancel out, leaving us with b. Let's proceed with the second term. Positive 18 divided by 6 will give us 3. A to the fifth divided by a squared will give us a cubed. Let us proceed with the third term. Positive 6 divided by 6 is 1. Let's not write it anymore. A cubed divided by a squared will give us a. This is now the remaining factor or the other factor. Now to check if our GCF is correct, I'm going to rewrite our GCF and multiply it with the remaining factor. So 6a squared times 7b will give us 42a squared b. 6a squared times 3a cubed will give us 18a to the fifth. 6a squared times a will give us 6a cubed. Notice that our answer here is the same as the given. Therefore, our GCF, 6a squared, is correct. For the summary, here are the things that we learned in this lesson. How to get the common monomial factor of a polynomial. And I have discussed 3 different methods of determining the GCF. I have here also tips in determining numerical and literal coefficients of the GCF. For the numerical coefficient, choose the greatest common numerical factor, while for literal coefficient, choose the variable or variables having the least exponent. Now, let us check your understanding. Pause this video for more time. Let us answer. Let me write first 12x to the fifth, y to the fourth. 12 is a product of 1 and 12. It could also be 2 and 6 or 3 and 4. Now, I will not break down the variables anymore. I'll show it to you later. Next one, I have 16x cubed y to the fourth. 16 is a product of 1 and 16. Could also be 2 and 8 or 4 and 4. Again, I will not break down the variables. Last one, 28x to the sixth. 28 is 1 times 28, 2 times 14, or 4 times 7. Now I'm going to choose the greatest common number in these 3 terms, and that would be 4. Now, for the literal coefficients, like what mentioned in the summary, just choose the one with the least exponent. So for x, I have here x to the fifth, x cubed, and x to the sixth. The least one is x cubed, so I'm going to choose that one. For y, since I do not have y here, then I cannot choose y. Therefore, the GCF of negative 12x to the fifth, y to the fourth, minus 16x cubed, y to the fourth, plus 28x to the sixth is 4x cubed. Now to check, I'm going to rewrite the given and divide this with our GCF. Let's start with the first term. Negative 12 divided by 4 will give us negative 3. X to the fifth divided by x cubed will give us x squared. And then copy y to the fourth. Let's move with the second term. Negative 16 divided by 4 will give us negative 4. X cubed divided by x cubed is 1. We don't have to write it anymore. And then let's copy y to the fourth. Let's move with the third term. Positive 28 divided by 4 will give us positive 7. X to the sixth divided by x cubed will give us x cubed. This is the other factor or remaining factor. To check if our GCF is correct, I'm going to multiply our GCF with the remaining factor. 4x cubed times negative 3x squared y to the fourth will give us negative 12x to the fifth y to the fourth. 4x cubed times negative 4y to the fourth will give us negative 16x cubed y to the fourth. And 4x cubed times 7x cubed will give us positive 28x to the sixth power. And notice that this answer is the same as the given. Therefore, our GCF 4x cubed is correct. Gets? Here are some more problems for you to work on. Watch out for my next video. I will reveal the correct answers. Our next lesson is difference of two squares.